Yo, what's up YouTube? It's your boy Joe Barber putting this video together. I had a situation today that I'm gonna just use as a reason to get on here and share. I've been working on like controlling my emotions. I've been working on doing what I'm supposed to be doing in the right form and not responding. And it's hard. It's hard, man. It's hard not to respond to people in the way that you feel that they deserve to get it. And I've been working a lot on myself. But really, I want to explain to you the pros and the cons of being a business owner. I've been in business for 5 years at my location right now, and it hasn't been easy. It's been really tough. It's been tough on my relationship. It's been tough on my family. It's been tough on me. I did well when before COVID hit. I was doing well. I was making well over 100 grand, and business was good. And then the business was doing good, and I was doing good. I was still making money. I was still making my separate money, personal money, cutting people. I had a customer that I would go cut in Dallas. He'd pay me about $4,000 just to go do his beard, cut his son's hair, whatever. Sometimes I would cut his driver. But business is good. I was making good money. I was able to purchase a few vehicles. I invested money in things. I was buying clothes, whatever, right? Doing good. The house that I'm in right now is, I didn't have to invest in it, but I was going to invest money into it, which I did. Here and there I did things, but that was good. And then the problem that I encountered, and these are, I'm going to speak to barbers and people that want to open up barbershops. The problem that I encountered with a lot of young barbers, or barbers, even older barbers, a lot of people don't like following structure. They don't want to have structure. They want to have the freedom. People sign up to be barbers because they want the freedom to do what they want to do. And I understand that. I totally understand it. But just like anything, I don't care what you sign up to do. If you want to be successful at anything, consistency is the key. And discipline is what's going to get you out of bed. Discipline is what's going to get you ahead. Discipline is what's going to help you maintain. Discipline is what's going to kick in when your body says no and your brain says no and the weather says no. And all. Discipline is what's going to kick in, man. I promise you. The 20 years that I've been cutting hair, it's rare that I miss work. I miss work. This is one day I had a really bad panic attack that I've never really had. I've never experienced that. I was asleep, and I don't know if it was during my dream or what happened that I was asleep. I got like a huge panic attack. I felt like my heart was gonna pump out of my chest. I ended up going to the hospital. They did some checks on me. They said that my blood pressure was pretty high. I don't know what happened in my dream that caused me to respond that way, but I didn't get to sleep very much. So because of that, came home and I missed work, which was probably like on a Friday, I think, that I missed. And I've never like missed a Friday in I don't know how many years, where all my customers they prepay, and so all my customers were rescheduled. My girl took care of everybody. She has access to my calendar and my schedule, so she was able to reschedule everybody, so they got taken care of, and it was okay. But that's the level of commitment that I have towards my clients. I'm very reliable. But the thing is, when you're a business owner and you're having to commit yourself to being a busy barber, I am a busy barber. I cut hair every day. Today, thankfully, I wasn't booked today, and I haven't had a day off like without me scheduling it. Like naturally, I haven't had a day off and I don't know how long, and it's been maybe years since that's happened. But I feel like God did that for me because I was working on purchasing a house. So I'm submitting paperwork, I'm submitting forms, I'm online doing stuff. I got to do all types of stuff, man. When you're going through the process of buying a home, it is work. It's a lot of work. So you have to exert a lot of energy to be able to do that. You have to exert a lot of energy to be a barber, to be a reliable barber, to be a barber that's booked. It takes a lot of energy. Now imagine having to do that, having to maintain a house that's here that I live in right now, having to maintain dogs, having to take my son to school, maintain my son and the things that he does. And then you want to factor in, I have to wake up early, have my alone time, meditate. I like to read. I like to study. I make my own breakfast. I drink my coffee. I have my alone time, and I start thinking about all the things that I want to do and all my dreams, my goals, all that kind of stuff. Then take my son to school. Usually takes me about an hour. Then from there, head to the shop. Then when I get to the shop, it's not just like I get to the shop and it's all gravy. I cut my people. No, I got to clean up after barbers because they don't clean up after themselves. I got to throw the trash sometimes. Got to clean the restroom. I got to wash clothes sometimes, like my capes and stuff like that. You still got to pay bills. You got to keep track when it's the beginning of the month. Make sure you pay your light bill. Make sure you're paying the rent. Make sure that you're, buying things that need to be bought for the shop, with paper towels. You're buying toilet paper. You're buying cleaning supplies. You're buying waters, beers, whatever. Then you still have to respond and make time to make videos. You got to be, relevant on social media. And then when you don't have enough barbers, you still gotta hire more barbers, being able to interview barbers to make sure that they fit what your shop is. Then the barbers that you do have, then you gotta maintain a good reputation with them, good relationship with them. Individually, some of these barbers, you could tell them verbally, hey man, I need you here from this day to this day. What day can you be here? Etc. etc. When you're not there, or say you're busy, they just get up and leave, and then you have to stop what you're doing, which you're like, say you might be with the client, then you're looking at them walk out and you're like, whoa, like, where's he going? He didn't even say nothing. And it's like, hey, well, now I'll be back. I got to go with my daughter. Oh, and they could make any excuse, and I'm not saying that my barbers make any excuse. I'm just saying if somebody wants to leave, they're going to leave. But the fact is that there has to be a balance, and it's hard. That's why I'm saying all this, because if you're looking to be a barbershop owner, I'm telling you, man, it is so difficult. No matter how good of a guy you are, no matter how talented you are, no matter how your life is, I'm telling you, man, when COVID happened, the barbers I had a barber that she was working with me. I gave her numerous amounts of breaks. I gave her cheap rent. I was like, look, I believe in you. I'm going to show you my commitment. I'm going to, instead of the rent being $200 a week, I'm going to give it to you for $125. The other $75 doesn't disappear. It doesn't disappear, because when you factor in how much light, I have 2 AC units. So I pay 2 light bills. I have 2 AC units, and these people will work at the barbershop. They want to get there early, and some want to stay late. So the light bill factors into 30 to 40% of what my profit margin should be. Unfortunately, it'll take 30 to 40% of that, because sometimes they leave the AC on overnight and they're in a rush to leave. Once they finish doing what they're doing, they're not thinking about, you know what, man, let me respect the shop. Let me clean up after myself, make sure everything's off, make sure everything's right. They don't go check the restrooms in the back. They've left lights on all night, all over the weekend, from Saturday to Sunday, and then Monday we get there and the light's still on. And then guess what? Once we start working, the light's gonna be on again. It's stuff like that, man. And when you run a tight ship, people start talking trash. And if you're going through a divorce and you still got to maintain all that, dude, you can't walk in feeling sad or feeling sorry for yourself. Man, I'll tell you from my experience, my son had cancer. He would have to go to the hospital sometimes, and I still went to work. I would take extra clothes, take a shower, go to this, do that, go stay overnight with my son, wake up, go eat breakfast, and go straight to the barber shop, cut hair all day, come home, take a shower, get extra clothes, go back to the, man, I was doing that, just crazy, man. Another incident that happened, I live right here in the south side, and my gate opens up. My girl came home one day, and I had a rescue pit bull that I had over like 2 months. He was really, really good dog. Oh, I probably had him like 3 months already. Really good dog. I loved him so much. He was such a character, really funny. Still getting used to living here with us, getting used to the other dogs and whatnot. But our neighbor has a dog that's a lab. And what happened, it just bad timing, I guess. My girl came home. My son opened the gate, and my dog was way back here in the backyard. We have an acre of land. And well, he saw the gate open, so he just darted all the way over there, went next door, was sniffing the other dog because the other dog just happened to be outside, you know, to relieve himself. And my dog went over there and started sniffing him. I was inside the house. I had just got home. I was washing my hands, about to eat, and I can hear outside yelling, like screaming. So I ran out, and I'm like, what the hell's going on? My dog had got into the neighbor's yard. The neighbor ran inside, got his gun, and he shot my dog. And my dog died. He died in my hands. I rushed him to the hospital. The police came. Police said they couldn't do nothing because in the state of Texas, animals are property. They're not viewed as animals. They're viewed as property. So because my property went into his property, even though his gate is not blocked off, it doesn't keep animals out. There's nothing I can do. I mean, I could probably sue, but anyway, put my dog in my truck. We hauled ass to the emergency. My dog didn't make it. A lot of trauma. My son got to witness that. Both of my sons got to witness that. And it was just that kind of like trauma that my son got to see. This dude pulled out a weapon. My son's, 15 years old, 14 years old when this happened, and shot my dog right in front of my son. So it's like that kind of stuff. And guess what? Did I miss work? Nope. Still went to work. Still took care of my customers. Still delivered. And that's the thing, man. And it's not, I always feel like if I'm not at work, that I'm losing something. Like I can't sleep right. I can't breathe right. I can't think right. I'm constantly pushing myself. And it's like, at the end of the day, when I see how many barbers have come through my shop, how many of them do not respect what I'm doing. They don't respect what it takes to maintain a barber shop. They don't respect the amount of hours, the amount of dollars that I spent, man. Just to move my shop, we were in a smaller location. I had 10 barbers already. We were outgrowing that place. We only had one restroom. So next door was available. So I was, I'm a big dreamer. I said, man, I would love to have that space if it was available. Well, they gave it to me for cheap at first. They're like, look, we'll give it to you for this much, but you have to, renovate it and do all the work yourself. So, man, I spent a lot of money. I want to say I spent about 50 grand just updating everything. So they gave me 3 months of rent free. So in all, they probably gave me about $15,000 of free rent, all in all, right? Let's just say that. And then so I had to redo all the plumbing, had to redo all the electrical, demo, flooring, removing floor, putting down tile, all new plugs, all, bought barber chairs, everything, barber pole, everything I bought, you know what I'm saying? So I spent a little bit more than 50, but I know I spent 50 on electrical and tile, just the flooring and the plumbing. I installed 3 new toilets, and some of the plumbing had to be redone in the walls, and I installed 2 new shampoo bowls. So overall, man, I've spent over 100 grand just building the business. But COVID messed up a lot of stuff. I lost a lot of money during COVID. So just because I'm used to cutting a certain amount of people, then I wasn't able to cut that amount. And then on top of that, the shop was closed. So it was like, it was just a bunch of mess, man. But the point I'm trying to make is that being a business owner, it's not easy, man. It's not for the faint of heart. It's not for someone that's not dedicated. It's not for someone that's unorganized. Especially if you're gonna open a small shop, I would advise that at first, unless you have a strong team of guys. And you see, I don't want to veer off from the story too, but I had guys that were around me. And me personally, I am a very artistic person. I'm very creative. That's my skill. That's what I do. If I can focus on just doing like hair art and like portraits and designs and all that, I'd be great. I'd make more money off of TikTok and YouTube and Facebook and all that kind of stuff if that were my mentality was at. But I feel like I've been called to help guide the new generation of barbers. So I wanted to open up a school. So that's what I'm doing now. But it's very difficult because so many people don't understand. They're like, oh, some dude left my shop, right? And he, he said he had a valid reason. It's whatever. I'm not gonna talk. I'm not gonna mention his name or nothing. I just told him like, hey man, stay focused on barbering. You'll do good. And then his response was, focus on your shop. I know I'll do good. And I was like, and it's funny to me because people talk like that on like over the phone. They text or they do that kind of stuff. And it's like, and that's what I'm telling you, man. I've been working on myself, not letting myself get emotionally driven and all that kind of stuff. Because growing up, man, I was a wild dude, and my first reaction is I took it personal. I did take it personal. And then I was thinking like, what do you mean focus on my shop? Like, do you know how many hours I've already put into focusing on my shop? Like, I'm in a place right now where I'm focusing on me. Like, you don't know what it's like to try to buy a house. You don't know what it's like to buy vehicles. You don't know. I don't even think that you know what it's like to be in my shoes. I was homeless at one time. Like, where I'm at in my life, I'm grateful that I have people that love me and that look out for me. I don't have a lot of friends. I know a lot of people. I don't have a lot of friends. But the people that do love me and that know who I am and they know how I get down, man, I give anybody the damn shirt off my back, bro. I give people money. I give people opportunity. I give people chances. I do everything that I can, man. I got 5 boys that I raised, and I'm with my last son now. And even though my son, we still don't know, my son still has to get scans and all that every 6 months for his cancer stuff. I still got to deal with that, man. It's crazy how, when someone says something that people don't even know mentally what you're capable of doing and what you've gone through and what you survive, and they want to make like a comment like that, right? It really irritates me. But then, I did type something and I was going to say something. I said, you know what? I'm not going to respond. But I'm going to use this as an example. So the next person that wants to be an owner, the next person that wants to open up a barbershop, the next person that wants to open up a business, understand that it's best to do things on your own. Don't try not to partner up with anybody, man, because I promise you, as soon as money gets good, oh, believe me, man, the tables will change quick. Everything, the tone, everything will go out the window, man. You have to really, 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 really focus on opening business by yourself. And sometimes it works. Sometimes it does work. I'm not going to say it doesn't. Sometimes it does work. I know people that are doing real good, and they have whatever things that they're doing, and they have people that work for them. But I'm telling you, once people realize, like, you know what, I really don't need this dude. I'm do this by myself. I can do that, and they'll dip on you. You know what I mean? Loyalty it's hard to find loyalty nowadays, man. People don't know what it is. So that's why I keep to myself. That's why I'm more of a loner. I like to be by myself. I'll spend time with my kids. I love being with my dogs. But people always ask me, like, yo, man, how come you're not doing a lot of portraits? And how come you're not doing artwork? And how come? This is why, man. This is why, because I spend so much time dealing with the drama, the trauma, the ups and the downs of being an owner, that no matter how much money, I average at least $2,000 a week cutting hair. That's just me cutting hair. That's me taking care of my customers. That has nothing to do with the barbershop. But guess what, man? When I give somebody a break on rent, I have to cover the difference. When someone's at my shop having a crappy attitude, walking around like not appreciative, not pushing themselves, it does break my spirit. It does make me feel like, man, what am I doing, dog? Like, why do I have a barber shop full of people that don't want to be barbers? They want to be somebody that cuts hair when they feel like it. They don't want to grind. They don't want to push. They don't want to be there first. They don't want to be there last. And then on top of that, when they do those things, they want to do it at the cheapest rate possible. They want to win. They don't want me to win. They want to pay $125 or $150 of rent, and then they want me to do the rest. And it's like, yo, like, for real, man, it's crazy. It's really crazy. So that's why I wanted to put this video out, man, just to express myself and let y'all know that regardless of what you're doing in life, man, you could have a big heart, you could have good intentions, and man, I promise you, it'll suck you in. And it'll run you dry, man. And I try to keep God first. And I've made mistakes, man. Believe me, I've made mistakes. I let my ego, my pride, all that stuff get in the way. But I'm grateful that I serve a merciful God. And the same grace He shows me, I'm gonna show other people. But I just want y'all guys to understand, man, that no matter what's going on in life and whatever vision you have, if you're gonna be a businessman and you're gonna open up your shop, please line up all your ducks and understand when someone comes to your shop, make sure that they represent you. Make sure that that you're not just accepting people and just be like, hey man, I just need anybody to cut. It's not like that, man. Some people have bad energy. Some people have bad intentions. Some people have trauma that they have to deal with. Some people are just immature and not making the right decisions, and they're gonna be an extension of you. They're going to be representing your business. And I've said it on my Instagram. I'm like, man, it takes years to build up credit, and your reputation at your barbershop is going to take years to build up. And I promise you, man, just like credit, you can ruin it in one day. You could ruin it with one person that's in your barbershop that has bad professionalism, that is very selfish, that is just no respect, man. And they could be cussing in front of customers. They could be cussing in front of one of your best customers. They could be, listening to music that's very offensive. And I promise you, man, it'll show. And I've experienced that, man. I've experienced that in my life. And it sucks, dude. It sucks, yeah. Because even right now, even then, as I'm talking to y'all, I'm taking my own advice. Like, dude, why am I, like, why the heck am I, why am I having this shop still open, dude? Like, why am I still chasing the dream? And that's the thing, because a lot of times I feel like it's getting dark out here. I feel like I try to do my best. I really do. I try to do the best that I can. And I try to be an example. I try to be a good leader. And it's crazy, man, because you still got to maintain when you have that many barbers and you're paying, everybody's paying you rent. Everybody's paying you. You got to keep everything organized. You got to have one book where everybody's paying you and understand. And then you're going to look back because you have your projections on how much money you want to make, how much money needs to be made. And then when you don't hit that number and you're thinking like, wow, man, like, then you start losing your own personal money to cover the difference of, somebody wants to stay late. Well, those days add up and your light bill changes. It's like your light bill should be no more than, there's a certain percentage. But I'm going to just say, like, you want your light bill to only be like 10% of what, your monthly profit is, right? And because you still want to make money, and it's so hard. And the bigger the space, the more barbers you need, or the higher the rent has to be. But all the barbers that have worked at my shop, they don't want to pay $200. They think that's too expensive. And I'm like, you just can't afford it. And it's like, I tell people, I break it down on paper. And I'm like, look, man, haircuts start at $30. In order for you to pay your rent, if you work 5 days out the week, let's just say 5 days, you gotta make a payment of $33 a day. That's how you cover your rent. So one haircut out of the 10 haircuts or 15 haircuts you can do per day goes to the shop. And if you work 6 days a week, well, it's less. But you still have to balance out the cost, because that's like you're spending more electricity, and not only by using the power, you're using the AC, you turn on fans, you turn on music, all the lights, everybody's turning on more lights. They don't take that into consideration. Honestly, my rent at my location should be about $250. It should be about $250 a week. I know barbershops that are charging $275, and I understand why. And but I'm telling you, man, when it's the younger generation of people, it's so hard to convince them. It's so hard to motivate them. It's so hard to explain to them why it's important to be at work. And I feel like that's not my job. My job is not to motivate you. I'll mentor people and help them, but I've also learned, even my own flesh and blood, I also learned that even if you do that, you'll get them to a point where they're feeling themselves, and they'll get up and leave and be like, yeah, man, I'm ready to go to another shop so I can build up my blah, blah, blah. And I'm going to go do better over there and do this and that. And then you're like, bro, all the stuff that I taught you for free. I thought you're going to stay here and pour into this, right? And so, yeah, man, it's all type of, there's so many angles So many, so many different things that you have to consider, because the bank wants their mortgage money, you know, say and I'll tell you right now, mortgage is about 2,000 a month. That's including insurance. Your light bill's about 200 a month. Your, other, let's just say food, everything else is gonna be about 800 a month. So I'm gonna round it off because we still gotta factor in Wi-Fi and all that other stuff. So we'll just say yeah, about 3,000 a month is going to just the house, right? Then at the barber shop, let's just say it's 5,500 for overhead. So you start doing the math and you start seeing that, oh, well, this barber's only paying a little bit of rent, or he only wants to work part-time, and this dude wants to work part-time, and that dude everybody wants to work part-time so they could get the part-time price, but they want to get the feel of having a huge shop and a huge parking lot and huge mirrors, huge station, great chairs. Like everybody's trying to shortchange the owner. I don't think they do it intentionally. I don't think that. I really don't. I give people the benefit of the doubt. But I've had more than 15 barbers, man, come through my shop. They're working there. They expect it to be super busy. They expect everybody just to come. And it's like, bro, the shop doesn't work that way. Yes, it is. And then there's days when we're busy and people don't want to cut. People want to cut 6 people a day, 5 people a day. They want to spend an hour and a half doing a fade. And then they get mad at the people, like the people are bothering them, like they're ruining their day because they have to do a walk-in. And I've talked to other barbershop owners, man. I'm not the only one dealing with this. So my thing is this, man, if you're gonna be a barbershop owner, it's best to get your rent up front. Make sure that you collect your rent on a Monday or Tuesday. Because if somebody has a slow day or somebody has a bad week or they get sick, or you got your money, man. It's like if you live in an apartment, the apartment people don't care if you slept there 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, 20 days, 30 days. They don't care. They want their rent because that's what you agreed upon. You're in a contract already, and that's what it is. And it's the same thing when you're paying booth rent at a barbershop. It's the same thing. You're agreeing to pay a weekly rent, regardless if you make $1,000 or if you make $10,000. You're telling the barbershop owner, hey man, I want to be a part of what you're doing here. I appreciate the vision. I appreciate the chairs. I appreciate the atmosphere. I appreciate everything that you have. And you pay the rent. It's like when you go to a hotel, you stay there 2 nights. How much are you paying? Come on, man. And yeah, no, I don't have the best barbershop in the world, but I don't have cheap equipment, but that's the thing. People want the best. They want to be around a good amount of people and they just want it to be good. And it's just like, but I want to pay cheap rent. And that's what you got to be careful of, man. And understand how to budget. Understand how to budget because I got to a place where I burned myself out. I did burn myself out, man. Mentally, spiritually, physically, I burned myself out. And I suffered. My work suffered. I couldn't create content. I couldn't do designs. I couldn't be me anymore. I lost myself because I was trying to be a businessman and I didn't have a blueprint for it. I didn't have a mentor. I didn't have none of that. So I went through a lot of the trials and tribulation. And guess what? I drug into it with me. My spouse, my kids, my dogs. Like everything that I love suffered because I was so fixated on proving that I can figure this out. And when it comes to money, it's hard, man. It's hard because then you get opportunities and you don't want to say no to opportunities because you're like, man, if I just work a little bit more, I'll make more money. And the more you make, bro, the more they take, the more taxes you got to pay. And then right now inflation is super high and it's crazy, man. It's very crazy how we are in our country. I had applied for what was it called? Like a EIDL, something like that, disaster loan, right? That the SBA had notified me that I would qualify for. So I qualified. I went through the process, man. I applied in December. I got approved. and we're going through the steps of the final steps of signing the documents and closing on the loan and receiving the funds. And lo and behold, the SBA ran out of money, and Congress didn't want to fund them because they funded Ukraine. So a lot of small businesses suffered. We're still recovering from COVID, man. Y'all got to understand. A lot of people got scared. A lot of people didn't want to show up. A lot of people didn't want to go to the barbershop. A lot of people, I had people that would come get a cut every week. Then those people started coming every 2 weeks. The people that used to come every 2 weeks started coming once a month. The people that used to come once a month started coming every other month. And that's the domino effect. The movie theater shut down, so we're no longer getting walk-ins from the movies. So I had to invest more money into Google and Instagram and Facebook and whatnot. And like I said, I spent a lot of time and energy getting people to come. And then the barbers that I have would not give them great service. They would give them attitude. They'll be like, oh, sign in, we'll be right with you. And then that person's just on the phone, not attending the customers, not trying to grow. And it's like, it's just so disrespectful, man, to me, to the owner. And it's like, how many haircuts do I have to do? Like how much of a leader and how much of an example do I have to be? And of course, a lot of people don't see the battles behind the scenes on being an owner. They don't see all the stuff that we got to go through, man. When I do my taxes and when I have to do all the things that I do, it's nerve-wracking, man. And then to pay my accountant to do all the paperwork that I need done, that's not cheap. You know what I'm saying? So it adds up, man. And sometimes it's not worth it. It really isn't. It's not. I'd make more money working at somebody's shop and just cutting my clients than I would having my shop right now. That's the sad part. That's the reality. That I would profit more money if I was working at someone else's shop than the way I do now. The only reason I keep my shop going and the only reason I have it open right now is because, one, I'm going to turn it into a school. Two is the people that I have there. There's 4 people that work at my shop that I would do anything for. And they don't understand the stuff that I go through. They don't understand how many times I want to call it quits. They don't understand how many times I break down. They don't understand how I've lost my peace and my joy of being me. I can't even do artwork because I'm so worried about, damn, how am I going to get the bills paid for next month? And I'm not just talking about the shop bills. I'm talking about my bills. I got kids that I got to take care of, dogs that I got to take care of. I mean, and then my car broke down. I had to fix that. My truck, instead of buying a new vehicle, I invested into, redoing some stuff on my truck so it could last longer. That was another like 6-8 G's that I spent. And of course, I wasn't expecting that, but it is what it is. And now it's like, damn, man. So now, after 20 years of cutting hair, I feel like, damn, man, like I still got to go hard. I still got to push. I still got to be there every day. I still got to get walk-ins. I don't know, man. I don't know. And I just really feel like I want to share this with somebody because I want my pain to be able to inspire the next man and just, learn from my mistakes, man. Don't be cool with people, man, like that. Like, be a businessman. When it's time to talk business, be about business. Don't be like, oh, well, your mom and oh, your I know that. Oh, nah, man. Say, you know what, man? I'm gonna be straight with you. This is what it costs. This is how much I've spent. This is what I need. If you can do that, hell yeah. And if you can't, man, thanks for coming by. And no matter, I've talked to barbers where I was like, you know what, man, y'all, I like the way y'all work. I like you're doing this. I wouldn't mind opening a shop for you and expanding, and y'all run that shop, and then let's just keep building together. They're like, oh yeah, cool, yeah, now we're down. Hey, well, have you found a location? And I'm like, nah, y'all go find a location, see where y'all would like, and then we'll go that way. Oh, nah, I don't want to go look. If you find it, I'll go work there, but I don't want to look. And I'm like, wow. Okay. And then they ended up leaving and going to another shop. And it's crazy, man. I'm telling you, man, I've really have experienced a lot of pain, man, and being a business owner. And I'm paying the cost big time. big time, man. It's not what I expected, and it's not what I wanted. But I'm just gonna trust that God's gonna provide, man. I feel like I've done the work. I feel like I deserve to. I deserve it, man. I really do. I feel like I deserve to have a good life. I feel like I deserve. I gotta check on my dog. I feel like I deserve more, and not in an arrogant way, man. Not in an arrogant way. I've lost a lot of sleep. I've lost a lot of friends. Like I said, man, I've lost myself trying to execute, trying to motivate my man. I listen to ET every day. I listen to Bob Proctor. I listen to Joe Dispenza. I read books, man. I'm trying to grow, expand. I'm trying to meditate. I'm trying to manifest. I'm trying to, you name it, bro. I try to do so much every day, and I try not to break down. I've had moments where I'm just like, bro, I just want to quit, like on life. I want to just give up on life, man, because I just feel like I don't have the right people around me that are like, hey, bro, we got this, and that I can rely on, and that I don't feel like they're taking advantage of me. And when I say that, it's like they tell me, like, I want people to be like, yo, we're gonna pay full rent, we're gonna go hard, and we're gonna build this up, and we're gonna do good. Everybody wants to like come up, like they want to have access to this big shop, they want to do all these things, but they want to pay the minimum amount of rent. They don't want to build up, they don't want to invest, they don't want to make videos for YouTube, they don't want to make TikToks to grow the brand. And that's the thing with me, and maybe that's the problem, that when I was a young barber, I'm the one that blew up the shop like that on social media. I'm the one that was recording and editing and doing all that to get people to come. I had the vision of like, man, let's make a baby commercial. Let's record stuff. Let's throw stuff out there. I started doing all these designs that nobody was doing, portraits, all types of stuff, and putting it on social media. I was on MySpace, then we went into Facebook, then I started making YouTube videos and all this stuff. This is before I had a blueprint. There was nobody doing it like that, man. I was just freestyling it, and I got a lot of notoriety off of it. It helped build up the brand. We were all excited. We always wore our razor sharp shirts. We were proud to be a part of that shop. And I guess in my mind, that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for those kind of people that are gonna be like, yo, man, I'm proud to be part of this shop. I'm gonna help build it like it's mine. That's what I'm looking for. And because I have that expectation, when people don't meet that expectation, I get bummed out. I feel sad. I feel like, damn, man, like, to, and you got to think about it, man. It's like the best way I can explain this to you is like, I got to score 35 points a game. I got to get 15 assists. I got to get 10 rebounds. And I got to have at least 5 blocks every game in order for me to feel like we're winning. You can only do that for so long. I've been doing this for 20 years, man. 15 solid years of me going hard, of like traveling, working for brands, cutting hair, being on TV, being on reality shows, doing all whatever, man. And still trying to maintain a relationship, still trying to take care of my dog, still trying to be there for my kids. And it sucks because I can't even take Saturdays off to go do community service because I have to be at the shop. Because if I don't, I'm going to lose out on $600 that's going to help me survive. And now that inflation's going up, I don't have a team around me that's like, yo, we're going to go hard, bro, and we're going to get this money. People don't think like that, man. And the 4 people that I do have there that do that, I appreciate them, but that's not even half of what I need to survive. And the rest comes out of my pocket. And it hurts, bro. It hurts. It really hurts. It's just like, and like I said, I'm an artist. I love to draw. I love to paint. I love to do designs. I love to create. I love doing all that stuff. But by the time I get home and I'm with my dogs and I try to spend time with my kids, I try to wind down, answer emails. Right now, before I got on this, I was doing some work for the house that I'm trying to buy. I qualify for a down payment assistance, but I got to do this online course that's 8 hours. But then I got this message from this youngster, and I was just like, it really just set me off, man. And I was, this is better for me to vent than to keep it in. But I was like, you know what? This is a good learning point. This is good for somebody that needs to hear this before you open up a shop. Now, might not happen to you. Like I said, if you keep your shop small, 800 square feet, maybe 1,000, maybe 1,500 at the most, you'll be fine for one person. Like if everybody were to leave, you can still survive. But me, I messed up. I messed up. I messed up because I really believed in the 10 people. At one time, I had like 16 barbers working before COVID. 16 barbers working. But out of those 16, maybe two were solid work, like solid where they were there, they would work, they would do their appointments, they would be there on time and all that. But then all it takes is one person to take advantage. And then they see them like, oh, he's getting here late. I'm going to get here late. He's leaving early. I'm going to leave early. Well, he took an hour lunch, so I'm going to take an hour lunch. And they do that. But when they see me be there first, they see me clean, they see me throw the trash, they see me clean the restroom, they see me cutting the most hair, they don't say like, well, he cut 15 people, so I'm going to cut 15 people. Well, he gets here early, so I'm going to get here early. So, well, he stayed late to get some walk-in, so I'm going to stay late to get some. They don't do that. And it sucks. Because then you're like, wow, man, this is terrible. This is my life. And yes, man, I signed a lease for 5 years. And we've already accomplished 3. So we're like at 3.5 now, of course, because we're through half of the year. So my plan is to turn it into a school, and I don't even have the time to submit all the forms for them. I still have a Secretary of State paper that I'm still have to file, and I haven't been able to finish it. But yeah, and it's just a lot, man. And you're still dealing with, the emotions of what's going on in society. You got more COVID cases, you got monkeypox, you got school shootings, you got, all that kind of stuff, man. And you still got to maintain. And then your health. What if your health starts deteriorating because you're so stressed out? I started getting anxiety. I've never had anxiety my whole life. You know what I'm saying? I grew up in the projects, bro. I didn't even think of that. I grew up hearing gunshots. I grew up with so much trauma. And I'm telling you, man, now it's just like, wow. And people take your kindness for weakness. And it's just like, dude, is it worth it? Is it worth proving to someone that you're capable of doing damage physically? Is it worth it to exalt energy, to let your frustration out with words and get in somebody? Like, sometimes you got to check somebody to let them know, like, you can get it. Like, you can get it. It's not worth it. When you play the scenario, when you play all the movie scenes in your head of how it would play out, it's not worth it. You're going to exalt so much energy. And then for what? Those people are still not going to learn their lesson. They won't. They think they know it all. And they think that they got it figured out. And that their life is worse than yours. Or their situation, we can't relate to their situation. I lost my dad to cancer. Still went to work. There's so much I've experienced, dude, and I don't let it interfere with me working. The only thing that would stop me from working is me being really sick or my spouse being really sick or something like that happening where I'm like, yo, this is more important than work, bro. And I've gotten to that point, and I don't want to let people down, but I've gotten to a point where I'm like, look, man, I'm about ready to call it quits, dog. I did my best, and it didn't work. You got to cut your losses. But, it's one of those things. So I'm so close to opening my school. Then I don't have to cut hair every day. I can just focus on growing people. I can have structure. I can pay employees, all that kind of stuff. So that's what I'm praying for. That's what I'm hoping to manifest. And that's what my goal is. So hopefully if you watch this whole video, man, you learned something. I hope it motivated you. I hope you're able to write stuff down and learn, like, you know what? I'm learning from Joe's mistake. That's wisdom. Don't burn yourself out. Don't lose yourself, man. If you're a talented barber and you're creative, don't lose that part of you. I promise you, bro. Don't do it. Um, I wish all the best, man. I wish all the new barbers, all the upcoming barbers, if you're a barber and you're trying to open up a shop, man, I'm telling you, man, have 3 to 6 months of money saved. Don't use all your credit. Make sure you learn about credit. Make sure you have financial literature, financial understanding, how much you need to have in savings. If you need to get a lot, if you want to get a, I'm sorry, man, I'm losing myself. If you want to get life insurance and put money in there and compound interest, all that, that's where you want to put your money, man. Don't invest it in stock like that. You're gonna lose more money than you're gonna gain unless you have somebody that's in your corner that has proven, portfolio of making money. Then you want to use that. But keep dreaming, man. Keep dreaming. Just be careful. Understand that nothing's promised. Life's not promised to you. Tomorrow's not promised to you. Be careful who you call your friends, man. Be careful how you move. Be careful what you listen to. Be careful what you watch. Don't try to live this fake lifestyle that people put. I promise you, man, it ain't worth it. Be true to yourself. Be true to your family. And be true to your dreams, man. And maintain and have a plan. Have a plan, man, for real. I guess that's all I got to say for now. But now I'm a lot more calm. And I really hope that this helps somebody, man, because barbering is what I love to do. And it sucks when you just have a broken heart and you can't love it as much as you should, how much you're used to. So, all right, man. Well, that's it. I said all I had to say. So if you watched it all, man, God bless you. And I hope you learned something from this. And I hope y'all guys really, really apply yourself and really prepare. And go hard every day, man. Go hard. Don't ever make excuses, no matter what, dude. I promise you. You'll get a lot further in life, and you'll get to a point where you don't have to work 6 days a week. You want to get to a point where you're only working 3 to 4 days. Even if you're, first get the barbering down, get the foundation down. Then you can do, enhancements. Then you can do designs. Then you can do SMP, and then you can do all that extra stuff. But understand that being a barber, man, you're building relationships with people. I've been cutting some of the same people for 20 years. And it's a blessing, man. It's an honor to do that. I wanted to grow old and be a barber. But in this economy, it's hard to do that. You have to have like 3 or 4 jobs. And I'm just tired. I really am. All right, man. Well, y'all stay blessed and y'all stay faded.